Are you looking to install a backup camera on your 2011 through 16 Super Duty pickup truck? Then stay tuned, because in this video we're going to show you exactly how we did that to our aftermarket head unit, and we're going to get started right now. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Alright, so I don't have the camera one, obviously, or I wouldn't be installing it. So what I did, I took a little pick here and started coming behind, being very gentle to watch my paint, and just started moving the adhesive around and kind of trying to take out the adhesive. Again, you want to be careful. The kit I'm using comes with a new Ford emblem, so as I'm moving this along, I'm pulling out. The other thing, we have some plastic pry bars. Again, you want to be careful how you're placing this so that you're not causing dents or anything in there. As I hold this out, it'll let me kind of scrape some more of the adhesive backing off. The only reason I'm trying to really hard not to break this is I want to take this apart and paint match it, because I have a plan. So I'm trying not to mess it up too much. Almost got it here. And there we go. In the scheme of things, that wasn't awful, especially on a cold day. If you have a heat gun, definitely. We did end up with a little scrapes here, but some light plastic sanding, we should be able to fix that and make that look good. This will obviously need to all be cleaned up. Little thing I actually found works easier is literally just kind of like rubbing it onto itself. That seems to be working much better than just trying to pick. The picking part breaks. Maybe if it was warmed up it wouldn't do that as much, but this is working much better once it got to the part that was kind of tough. Some of it earlier went really pretty easily, but just a little tidbit, something to try, getting this stuff off. They do make like the eraser wheel, I believe it's called. I'll link that down below. You put it on your drill and you can clean this stuff up pretty quick, but this with my hand seems to be working pretty good all in all. All right, so we have this. It actually has a pretty nice little protective coating on it, just because this area is where a lot of the Ford harnesses have issues. I do just have like some wiring harness tape here. This is actually for another project of just kind of providing some protection. So if I can get it started, we're gonna take just a little bit of this and just just do a little round on here. This is 100% not needed. So just need a little bit more. I'll get back to you guys once I finish this part. So there's this little piece, I think this is showing up on the camera here, and it pushes into your square part on the tailgate here. It's got these little arms that stick out. I had to push them in. So I just grabbed a pair of my pliers here. Trying to show you, and I just kind of squeeze this in. I had to go pretty far in, honestly. Now this kit comes with screws. We'll screw in there. I fed this down, and with the tape one actually came pretty easily here. So that came right down here. Now, a couple things before we screw this in. This does have some weather stripping here. Now remember, this outer piece here, this is just plastic. You don't want to go crazy tightening this, you'll crack it. Our Ford emblem here, which I'm pretty certain just presses in here. Like so. At some point I'll compare this to the actual factory OEM one. Josh has it on his truck, obviously. Also, I love my USA made Milwaukee screwdrivers. These things are awesome. Big fan. And shout out to my Icon pliers. Haven't really used these things hard, but so far I gotta tell you, really like the few that I have. Now that we have this done, we have a monstrous harness here to run. This plugs into the camera, obviously. We have 3 wires here that we need to look at. So one is a ground, that's super easy. We can do it nice and right up front here. Plus there's a ton of places to put a ground here. This green wire is a trigger wire. If your head unit's not gonna turn on or is already hooked up to something, you'll need to use this to send a signal to it saying, hey, change to this camera. And this is a power. This typically gets hooked up to people's reverse lights, is the most common usage for this one. Some people will find power wires inside the cab as well, up by the front. In which case, if you wanted to do that, what you could do is you could hook this green wire up front to a constant, and then you could hook these two up together. We're not going to do that because that's more work. I might do something like that in the future, I don't know, but for right now we're going to hook this up nice and simple. Alright, so longest camera install ever. I technically did this over 3 days, but I took my time, really wanted to make sure that this came out right. Here is the actual finished product. It looks really good. I'll show you some daytime and nighttime video output of the camera. Overall, very happy with it. So here's what we have. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some grommets and we're gonna kind of push it in. For instance, there's a couple holes here where you could put trees in and kind of just hold it in place. So we're gonna do that with this. That way it's not moving around a whole lot. But just to keep it in place, for now this is okay. There isn't enough slack for it to get down. It does hang a little right here, but for now it's fine. Now this is just a loose mock-up for now. We're gonna tie this into like factory wire looms. So like there's one that sits above here. This is gonna eventually go in there. But our power wire and ground came over here and we tied into the factory trailer hitch here, the 7-pin. The center wire on it for my 2016, looks like for a fair amount of them, is your backup. That's where I'm drawing power from. Apparently, if you pull off power from the reverse light, some people have had issues with it, and it goes in, like the BCM goes into like a protect mode. So some people have had issues, some people have not, but I have not heard anyone having issues with this. So we grounded right off the bracket for the 7-pin. This green wire I just snipped, it's a trigger wire. You probably won't need it if you have a similar setup. If you did what I did for a head unit, this trigger wire is completely unneeded. Now along my frame here, that's showing up. So I just ran this all the way up. I'll show you where I crossed over to the other side of the frame, but I just tucked it away nice Again, this is something that'll get kind of tied over and kind of held out of place. So here I am. This is the front of the rear leaf spring mount. We followed it along this line all the way up. Like I said, this will eventually get, tied up a little nicer. I was just trying to get this done so I could make sure this all worked. There, you see the grommet we pushed in through, comes up right on the passenger side floorboard. Similar one over on the driver's side as well. Then I ran it up through the carpet and behind the glove box, and then over, and then plugged into the back of the head unit. Alright, so here's the head unit. I don't know how well that's coming up. It's pretty clear. I do dislike that thing there that pops up. So I do have, these are the lines that come on it regularly. You can add lines. You can either take these off, and you can actually really set up the factory ones that come for the head unit very well. But those are the lines that are on it. All in all, really pretty clear picture for daytime. Very, very usable. We'll get back to you guys with some nighttime shots. All right, so as you can see, it's late. I'm on a street that pretty much has no light. There's a couple small dim house lights, but nothing crazy. I just want to show you the backup camera here. And even in the picture, I believe it, still shows up really good. It is, as it looks, pretty much black and white. There's a little bit of a red hue from my tail lights, but I mean, you can see as I hit the tail lights more, I get a little, it just rained, so this is a raindrop over here. It was raining pretty hard actually earlier, but I can clearly see everything I need to back up in a really dark. Let me turn my headlights off a second. So that's pretty close to how dark it is. And again, we'll go back to this here and we can see. I don't have LED backup lights or anything, like reverse lights, excuse me, or anything. Just the normal. So here it is. There's nothing really behind us. So yeah, that's that. Just wanted to kind of throw that in the video so you guys got to see kind of how it is. In the future, we will be doing LED reverse lights, so they'll probably be a fair amount brighter. At least the ones in my 6-liter are. We're in the 6.7 obviously, but yeah. So did a little driving around to find a good spot to really test it out. At my house, there's a couple of these like yellow orangish lights that you're seeing. So I didn't want to do it right by my house, but it works really good. Very happy with it overall. So there it is at night, and you guys should have seen the daytime footage as well. I didn't edit that yet, so if I don't like it, I'll reshoot it on my phone. My ending footage got messed up, so we're just going to be sending this again and just voicing over. But thank you guys for checking this out. Again, this is a part of our XLT to Platinum conversion. We're turning our base model XLT into a Platinum over some time. Things are going really well. If you like this video or this style video or are more interested in this, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I'll see you in the next upload.